What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Just leaving the castle once again. I feel like I start the videos the same way because I change to a car and I leave the castle and then I start the video, and then obviously we do stuff later on. But I feel like every single one of them is going to be the exact same, so I think it's time to change the location of where I start these videos. So for the next one, it'll be somewhere different. We'll do something else. Regardless, it doesn't really matter. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is this thing, the third Toyota Camry. Now this, and I don't mean like the third Toyota Camry, I mean like the actual third, like T-R-D, you know, Toyota Camry that they added into the game. I really like it. I really like it already. I mean, for people that don't know, you can actually drive this thing, or you could have driven this thing kind of early a little bit, but you weren't able to actually do stuff to it. This is one of the cars that's in the monthly rivals, so back a few videos ago when I drove this thing, I really enjoyed it. It also is front-wheel drive. I was asking in that video, is this thing all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive? This is actually front-wheel drive. It drives really well for a front-wheel drive. So I thought in this video that I would go ahead and build this thing up, but keep this thing as a front-wheel drive. So basically the way I'm driving it right now is the way it was in the rival event. It's quite grippy. It's really good as a front-wheel drive car. So I was thinking to myself, why don't I just build this thing as like a front-engined, obviously, front-wheel drive, like race car. Why don't I just mess around and do something like that? Something a little bit interesting and something a little bit different. So that's what's going to happen in today's video. I'm going to go ahead and see what we can do to this Camry, in terms of you know, things we can change and things we can upgrade on it, and obviously then try to take it racing a little bit. But like I said, you can see that there is a little bit of oversteer with it, which is good because you don't really want too much understeer with front-wheel drive cars. As long as it rotates really nicely under you, it's a really good car. That's the one thing about front-wheel drive cars. If you have something that's, which I don't think this is, kind of lightweight, but if it's very well balanced, you should be able to get a nice lift off oversteer. You should be able to get a nice rotation of the car when it turns basically under you, right? Like, it's just, you just want that from a front-wheel drive car. You don't want it to understeer, because understeering is very bad. If you get it to oversteer is very good for a front-wheel drive car because it's so easy to correct. You just accelerate, and with the steering wheel in a straight line, you just accelerate. And understeer is just gone, and you just grip up and go. Unless you're driving too fast into a corner, but that's with every car. That's with a lot of different cars. But yeah, like I said, this thing's on stock tires and stock everything now, so it's really good for just, you know, just that. Let's have a quick little look around it as well. I don't really like the way that they gave it to us in black because I can't really see a lot of the detail, but it's interesting. It's got, I'm pretty sure, a 3-liter V6 in it, right? Am I right in saying that? An engine that we don't really have in Ireland. I'm pretty sure that the only version of the Camry that we have in Ireland is some hybrid. I don't think I've ever seen a version of the Camry like this, but I'm pretty sure these are going to be a little bit more common, well, a lot more common over in the Americas. But I do like it. It's like a performance version. It's not like, I wouldn't like compare this thing, for example, to like you know, an Audi S6. I wouldn't compare this thing to an Audi or a BMW M550, right? Its performance isn't really quite there, right? It has, let's have a look at all the specs for it. 301 horsepower, 362 newton meters of torque, and 1,622 kilos. It's very lightweight for the car that it is. It's a big saloon car. If you've ever seen a Camry in real life, it's a big, chunky saloon car, right? Why is the badge so deformed? You've seen that right now as well. I don't know why I'm seeing it. Why? I think it's just the weird reflections in it, but it makes it look so low res. So it's almost a 3.5 liter V6 actually. But this thing's more of like a, I don't know, very strange mix of things. Obviously, this thing being a hybrid most of the time, right? This thing having some sort of a sporty, you know, integration into it. It's a little bit weird. 301 horsepower, 362 newton meters of torque. It's not really that great in terms of performance, but it is kind of like a upper end version of the Camry, and yeah, let's make it even upperer than that by doing some stuff to it. Why does that badge look like that? Wait, let me go back at the thing again, because surely it doesn't look like that in Forza Vista. It does. It's just a very strange reflections in it. That's why it looks like that. I have anti-aliasing on, and it's in specific places, but that is a very low-res looking badge. I mean, you can kind of see even, you can almost see orange peel in the paint but on the badge, it's just vile. How terrible the reflections are in it. It's not that bad in photo mode, but in paint you can literally see orange peel. Like the paint is really, really good and high quality, and the badge just looks really bad. Looks like someone's like smeared Vaseline on it. Very weird looking. It's not even like the quality like of the thing is bad. It's just the reflections on it just look really bad. Anyway, we ignore that. We have wide body. Oh, we like the wide body. Wide body means better grip and corners. Wider stance of the car makes it look even more aggressive than what it is. I really like the way it's like bolted on kits because it looks like stupid, but I wish it was just like molded kits. That would have been much nicer. But wider body kit will make this thing quite a lot grippier. It is NA, so we can turbocharge it or supercharge it as well. I'm kind of tempted to keep the engine that's in it now because I'm pretty sure that the engines that we have available for it are going to be a massive jump in whatever this engine is. The Viper V10. I knew that the super engine is going to be in it. It had to be. I can't remember what engine this is from. It's from an Ascar or something? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Then we have an Aston V12 as well. I'm going to keep the standard engine in it. I'm going to, like I said, keep it front wheel drive because that's what I want to do with this build. We're going to have to obviously change the tires and give it some much better tires. I will twin turbo it. And for aero, we can have... I mean... I feel like I have to put the Forza wing on it just to have the downforce, but I mean, I don't know, man. It just looks weird on the Camry. On a Camry to make it look like that, I really like the standard wing. I think the standard wing is like nice and small and it matches with the rest of the kit as well. But it's just that weird like ducktail. I don't know if I like it too much on a Camry. It just doesn't look great because everything on this car is kind of like angled. It doesn't really have a lot of like, you know. It has a lot of sharp edges everywhere. Like, it doesn't really have many, like, curved parts on it. And then you have this thing that's just fully curved. It looks a bit dumb. Well, at least it looks less dumb than the Forza wing. But the Forza wing has to get added on if I want the old downforce. Upgrade the tires, of course. We're going with 295s on the front. That is ridiculously wide. And we can go 295s in the rear as well. The wheels, I actually don't really mind the wheels at all. I just don't think I want to keep them in this black color. It's kind of grayish a little bit, but I don't know if I want to keep them in that color. So we're going to change the color of those. Clutch, obviously. Racing transmission. How many speeds is this transmission? We can see if we go to the next one. So 6, 7, 9. It's an 8-speed transmission. As soon as you see it skip one of these gears, you can see it's a 6-speed, 7-speed, 9-speed. As soon as it skips one of them on this list, then you know what this racing transmission is. That's how I find out what it is. So we don't really need an 8-speed transmission. So let's bring it back to a 6-speed because I kind of want the gears to be quite long. Because we have short gears and a lot of power in each gear, we might get this thing to understeer, and we don't really want that at all. So we'll leave it like that. We can have drift suspension as well, but I'm obviously not going to do that. Race suspension, all that done. Lightweightness. 1,300 kilos. Should I stiffen the chassis up a little bit with this? Does it actually help at all? That's my braking a little bit. And my off-road ability. Come on then. Why not? It's something that I never do. I never put a cage in my cars. And then we now work on power. 547. The standard sound... or the stock sound for this thing sounds very similar to like a 3-cylinder. It doesn't sound like a great V6. It sounds like a 3-cylinder V6, or a 3-cylinder V6, a 3-cylinder engine. This sounds more like it. This also sounds like a 3-cylinder. That sounds good. It's not too raspy. It's not. It's just nice. It's just nice. Big power from this thing. Massive amounts of power from this car now. It's at 862. Obviously, if you end up actually changing the car's drivetrain to be all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, this thing's gonna absolutely jump up in class. But I want to keep it like this for now and just have a little mess around with it, with this car. So I think the way I'm going to build this thing is going to be quite similar still to your regular cars, but obviously I'm going to have to try and adapt it to a, you know, front-wheel drive setup, let's say. Alright, design and paints. Let's have a little bit of a look at the actual paints that we have available for this. White looks so much better. White looks infinitely better. And then even the wheels kind of match. And it's kind of cool that it leaves the roof black as well, because it's a little white and black. That looks so much nicer. And then the wheels, like I said, we could change a bunch of the stuff on this thing. We can have it so the front end kind of looks like that. Let's change it so they look more like diamond cut than anything else, because that just looks a lot better. So we do steel or aluminium polish. We go aluminium, not polished, semi-gloss, brushed. There we go. And then for this one, we can actually have the wheels this darker grey color. That looks so much better. Miles better. Miles better. And then in our barrel, obviously we're gonna do the same paint as that, and then the outer lip is that, and we're gonna do it the same as that, so it looks polished or brushed. Infinitely better. I'm gonna leave the brake calipers red as well, because, you know, has a red lip that goes all the way around it. It just looks good. Okay, let's drive this thing. Let's see what it's like. Oh, sorry, it doesn't even go all the way around. It's just kind of like at the edges of the bumper. Yeah, I was definitely expecting this thing. Oh, it's grippy. I don't know if it's worthy of being an S1. But I've also stretched my gears out a lot. Oh, the brakes are good. The brakes are very good. Okay, I want to bring this thing on some sort of a track or something. So, actually, let's bring it into a rival event, and we'll go on one of the newer events here. So we have the Cloverleaf Sprint. Should we try on this one? Let's go on this one. I don't think I'm gonna be able to like get anywhere near like top 1000 or anything like that. Like what was the run that I did here with a Ford? Well, yeah, I tried it with the Ford Focus for a laugh, and I managed to get 1800. Let's see if this is faster than the Ford Focus, which I don't think it will be because it's also lower in class. But it just feels like a really solid car to drive. I also get to see what front wheel drive is like when I push it really hard, because I haven't driven in something that's front wheel drive and fast in a long time in this game. Obviously, every time I do end up driving stuff like this, it'll always be rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, tons of grip, but never front wheel drive, because it's always just been swapped. And you can see even off the line how this thing just doesn't compare to the Focus. But I think this is faster. I really like the grip and corners with this. The front end turns in nicely. I have to be careful not flooring it. If I floor it, it'll start to understeer. There is certain places where I can actually plant my foot down, but not a lot of them. Like there, for example, I started flooring it. Not good. Yeah, I have to literally wait until I'm kind of in a straight line before I can floor it. But it's actually really nice. I just wish that we'd have a little bit more power with it. The grip is lovely. I think the weight of this thing is really nice as well. We're quite slow compared to the Focus, because the Focus is all-wheel drive. I also feel like I don't understand why we don't have like a front lip that we can add on this thing. We don't have the silly Forza aero as well that we can have on this thing, so we can have the front end be a little bit like more agile and grippier. I don't get it. Why is that not a thing that we can have in this on this car? I didn't mean to restart. I think we need to engine swap this thing. The thing is though, it's not really that bad. So the only thing that I could possibly do with this thing is add more power. But then I have to be careful with the way this thing accelerates, because again, it's front wheel drive. So it wasn't even that bad driving it on that track. It's just, oh man. I just wish I had more grip. I think the 295 tires really help a lot. Like a ton. So it's very interesting. I do want to engine swap this thing though. I think I'm gonna put this one in. We put the racing engine in it? We could probably do that. It gives it more power. It barely goes up a class and actually makes the car lighter. Why not? I don't know if turboing it is even worth it. Wait, it barely goes up. That's insane. We can give this thing so much power. That is absurd. Is it just gonna continuously stay? I'm gonna change to that engine then. If we can give it this much power, and it'll stay in S1. Oh my god, we can give this thing so much power. Bro, what's the point? What is the point? It can't go anywhere. It only goes up to 870. Oh my god. So 1,270 horsepower is the most that we can get out of that. Wait, what? That's so weird. Because for some other cars you can get it higher, no? Can you not? I thought you could, right? Higher than 1,270? Because this one now is even more. Weird. We're at 870 in S1, and we have 1,356 horsepower. It is a tiny bit heavier than before, but we have so much more power with it. Maybe my gear ratios need to be changed a little bit, but yeah. We also may need to try and pick a track that doesn't really have. I'm just kind of edging the throttle. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Whoa. Right. It wasn't in boost. That's why I was driving like this. I was like, this isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. Then it catches boost. Oh my god. This is fast. This is really fast. Let's try it on one of the older tracks. We'll do like Aerodrome or something like that. Jesus. And I'm not gonna get anywhere near the top with this thing, but I want to try it anyway, just to see. Just for a laugh. Just keeping a front wheel drive just makes cars even funnier to drive. And it makes them so different to just your everyday like all wheel drive or rear wheel drive cars. But keeping a front wheel drive just makes them so much funnier to drive. I'm excited. I am excited. Come on. Oh, the launching with this thing is terrible. I may need to turn off launch control because it limits it so much. It's a really good car to drive, actually. In terms of like weight and how it goes about corners, really good car. The only issue is when you're trying to put down the power. Like, I can't use 100% throttle. It's just impossible to use it. You just see like my finger on the throttle. It's just... It's like when I'm driving the like power builds. Stupid. It is very stupid to drive. It still slips. In fifth. Change over to fifth maybe. I think the torque out of the Sentinel is actually very good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I should always be in a higher gear than I think I should be in. So if this quarter is like, oh yeah, go around in third, definitely go around in fourth. It's like I said, you have the torque for it. Regardless, you just can't use it. This is what happens if I floor it all the time. I have to lift off. I have to, or else I'll crash. Oh, I'll lift off again. It's actually so fun to drive, man. Seriously. It's so fun to drive like that. It's just hilarious. How, like, bad it is. How bad it is. How bad you have to, like, control yourself and, like, keep yourself held back. Drive a front wheel drive. But overall, the car is really good. I think this could... I'm going to try something else. Okay? I'm going to try and limit this thing all the way down into A-class. Because there's no point of having this much power in this thing. It just makes it completely pointless. So, I think we go back to the original engine. We'll turbocharge it. And we'll bring it all the way down into A-class. And just work with that. Because, like I said, it's just completely pointless to have a car that makes so much power. Where it's just genuinely useless. You do not gain anything from having that much power with this car at all. Yeah, we'll just do that. It's fine. And this is what the setup is like. 413 horsepower, a lot more manageable. 1,385 kilos as well, with the weight of it. This seems like a lot better of a setup for this thing than anything else, right? Now let me change my gear ratios and I'll be back. Now, this thing should be a lot better for smaller tracks. So, I think for the last track that I'm going to mess around with, it's going to be on the Golden Toge. It's been a while since I've been on it, and why not? Why not? It'll leave this thing to the end of the video. So if people don't want to watch this thing go around the Golden Toge, then you don't have to watch it. You can skip ahead to when I finish it. But for the people that do enjoy watching me go around the Golden Toge, then you will watch it in this video. But yeah, I think this thing is going to be much better now suited for like this sort of environment here. With this amount of power. I think anything more than this is just going to be pointless. Plus we can have a look at the interior of this thing. Because I like driving the interior when I'm on the Golden Toge. I'm a lot more accurate. The massive white screen in the middle is a bit annoying. But apart from that, red dials are an interesting choice. Look a little bit outdated though, in red. Not too bad. Oh man, this thing grips up so well. It should, as it's got 295s with slicks on it in A-class. So it should grip up very well. Oh man, even just flooring it out of corners. Something that you could not have done in a higher class. Oh my god, it's too grippy. For such a big car, this feels so light. I mean, it is light, right? It's got like 1,300 kilos. Whereas cars usually this size will be like 1.6, 1.7 tons. So this thing being only 1,300 kilos is really, really good. I also don't think this is going to break any records or anything like that, but it is definitely a lovely car to drive. I guarantee you someone on my Discord server is definitely going to send me one of these things as like a drift build or something like that, and imagine it's going to be like really, really good. But just now, as a front wheel drive car, slightly lower in power than what I've driven it before. In A-class, basically. Oh. My fault. Apologies for that one. Let's Sorry, it shouldn't really affect my time too much. I'm not really going to do like multiple runs here unless I crash like properly and it stops me dead in my tracks. Then I'll restart, but apart from that, I'm going to just try and do one full run here. So it doesn't seem that difficult to do a full run with it. The car is very good. That is very good. No slowing down for that corner. This one you have to. And the left-hander is going to be quite tight here, so be careful you don't smash into that wall on the outside. Never mind, this thing has way too much grip, so it stays tucked in really nicely. I'm actually going to slow down quite a bit for this gap, just in case. That's good. Keep her going now. It's not particularly fast, but its handling is very good. I'm gonna estimate 440. I'm gonna estimate 440. This is what this thing is gonna get, which is kind of like on the mid-range of cars around this track in A-Class. The front-wheel drive cars going around this track are not that great. There's not a lot of them that can do it really well. There's a Ford Focus, I'm pretty sure, that someone ended up sending me. Back in the day when I used to accept tunes for this track, and I used to have like a little... Well, I still have the leaderboard, but... Back when I used to do this a lot, and I used to accept tunes for people, or from people to take around this track and put on the leaderboard. I think there was a Ford Focus that actually ended up, at the time, being the fastest car around this track, and it was a front-wheel drive. So that tune was quite decent. But then again, oh my god, I'm so much slower than 440. I thought this was gonna be like 440. This, well, yeah, what? Oh, maybe not actually. Maybe I am gonna be spot on. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit slower. 445 maybe. Yeah. Maybe slightly shorter gear ratios, something like that. I don't really know, but yeah, it's not particularly amazing. What's the fastest A-Class time that's been on the track? One sec, boys, because I could check this. The times are still there. So, A-Class, the fastest A-Class that we've had around the track is actually that Ford Focus with a 435. That's what this is. These are all from tunes that people have sent me. So this is very much a mid to high-ish like time. No, it's very mid. It is a very mid time with this thing. Yeah. It's landed just about where the Subaru Legacy is. There's a Subaru Legacy that I have there, and then a Lexus RCF Track Edition that someone sent me. I don't know. I think for a front-wheel drive car, this is really good. It just feels a little slow. Feels like you should be able to have a little bit more power with it. But then again, maybe it's just the wheels. What if I just like get rid of a little bit of the like width from the wheels? You know, maybe that'll help. Anyway, regardless, this was the third Camry, yeah, I know it's pronounced TRD, but it's just funnier to say third because I think it'll kind of bait people into correcting me in the comments, and it'll make it really funny because I actually know it's TRD, but I'm just gonna keep calling it third. But I actually do really like it. I think it's a really nice car. Put I've done into this game. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.